So after coming back from our van trip to Byron Bay and back to Sydney, we were looking for a trip that was around Sydney that we could go and do over a weekend period during our time off. We went to Google and we typed in treks around Sydney and we found Bouddi National Park Coastal Walk, which we had never heard about. So the coastal walk was 8.5 kilometers one way, and that really drew us towards this. So we went to Google Maps, and from Sydney where we're based, we actually found that it was just north, about a 2 hours drive over on the central coast. So for the trek, you can start at McMaster's Beach and walk down over here to Kilcare Beach. And that's actually what we decided to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start the video over at McMaster's Beach here, where we actually decided to spend the night in the van to wake up to get sunrise to then start the walk down south. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get into the sunrise. So as you can probably see on our faces in these upcoming clips, we were absolutely exhausted by this point. You have to remember that we started this trek at 8:40 a.m. in the morning, and this was now early afternoon. We had made the smart decision to fast before we set out on this hike, and so our hopes for getting food were on the last beach having a cafe right at the end, and this is that beach. And as you can see, it was a long beach and the cafe was closed when we got there. Madison was not happy. I was no happier. So what we actually tried to do next is just call an Uber to try and get it back to the van and then drive and get some food, but we had no cell service, so that meant that basically we decided we didn't want to do the coastal walk again because that was 8.5 kilometers one way. So the only option that we had left was to start walking towards the van. You can see here on my face that I'm in a lot of pain. I had a lot of blisters on my feet from the new boots that I just bought a couple of weeks ago, and Madison was no better than me. And this is her as I got to the van, and you can tell that she was not feeling too well either. She took her boots off straight away. She had blisters everywhere. She was looking for the band-aids, but all round it was such an amazing hike. After we'd sat down and just kicked our feet up for a little bit, we decided to pour ourselves a glass of wine and sit in our van and watch the last waves that the surfers were catching for the day as the sun set. At the end of the day, this is close to Sydney and it gets you out of the big city, and this is definitely something that I want to revisit later on in the future. After breakfast, we headed north only a couple of minutes, and then we were at Maddie's parents' house. So they have these 2 boxer puppies there full of energy, and they love to attack us when we get there. And Sherilyn, Maddie's mum, has been doing a lot of work in a veggie patch. And what was really cool is she pulled some fresh herbs and vegetables and made us a frittata. So that was really nice of her, and it tasted incredible. And lastly, before heading back to Sydney, we went and checked out a community garden that Sherilyn's going to be working on to see the new land, and so that we could actually get a glimpse into what it was before she actually takes over and makes it into what is going to be a really beautiful garden for the Central Coast.
Main focus?